Welcome to my channel Specs. I'm India and I highlight Black authors each week. To end this month's theme of Women's Month, I'm highlighting Confessions of a Frustrated Millennial, written by Eugenia R. Jefferson. Eugenia R. Jefferson is an author based in Chicago. She graduated from Eastern Illinois University with her bachelor's in journalism. She also has a master's in integrated marketing communications from Roosevelt University. Disclaimer alert. It might seem like when I do this that is very vague, but I'm really trying not to spill too much tea of the book. It will take the joy out of reading it on your own. So please, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. So this book is a story of 3 young, educated Black women who reside in Chicago. So they all have their degrees. They finally stepped out into the real world and they're trying to see how they can navigate and begin to really start their career. These are 3 completely different stories, but you see them all go through it at the same time. So the first girl in the book, her name is Natasha. She has her MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So her story was based off in the corporate America. One thing that she highlighted that I liked was how she's in the process of trying to apply for these jobs in the beginning, and how all of them are saying that you need experience. But she's saying, like we've all been saying, is how can I get experience if you won't let me gain experience to begin with? Mark is her boss, and he's actually sleeping with his assistant. So he's having an affair with his assistant, Katia, and they're basically treating Natasha. Mark, who is actually above her, puts off his work onto Natasha. Katia, who is actually under her, puts her work off onto Natasha as well because it's allowed because she's sleeping with the boss. Also, did I mention that Mark is the CEO of the company's cousin? Exactly. She hates her job. She is trying to figure out how can she get out of this situation because she's never getting any of the credit that she feels like she deserves. I believe that Natasha's journey was about her taking risks, about not just taking the easy way out. I don't think she did, but she did settle. So to not settle and to take risks. So if you decide to read the book, then you'll be able to see the rest of her journey. And then here's our girl Danielle. She was almost my favorite. Because I also had dreams of being a Broadway star. She graduated from Roosevelt University with her bachelor's in theater. So her story basically starts out doing what she has to do to get the bills paid by working as a waitress, just so she can still have a flexible schedule so she can still hit up auditions. She goes through tons and tons of rejection. So she gets to a point where she kind of wants to give up. Also, there's a little romance in there. She does meet a guy while she's at work, and you kind of see how that goes. And then luckily, right before she wants to give up on auditioning for bigger roles, she lands a spot on this new reality TV show called The Next Broadway Star. So literally throughout the book, you watch down from each week to see where she goes within the competition. And then last but not least, here comes my girl, Jayla. I don't know if I love Jayla because she has the same name as my little sister, but I loved her story the most. She was my favorite. Her story was the most relatable to me. Just showing how life can give you so many twists and turns, and that you might have to do some things you don't want to do just so you can get to where you want to be. But she starts off in the book in Boston, and she just graduated from, I can't really pronounce the name of the university that she got her law degree from, but she is a lawyer. Not a practicing lawyer yet, but she did pass the bar. She actually explains the stages that happens literally post-graduation. So she explains how in the beginning, when you first graduate, how everybody is so excited for you, even you are. She said she had a high, and her high was really hopeful about where her career was going to go and where she was going to work. This is the first 2 months. And then after the next 2 months, she gets to the point where she says being around other people gets harder and more stressful because now they start to ask questions okay, congratulations on your degree. Have you found a job yet? And she still hasn't found it, so she's becoming really frustrated and embarrassed, really, because of her caring about what others think. So a whole year goes by. She doesn't tell her parents that she's not even able to support herself. And then she has to move back to her parents' house. This is the worst thing she thought she would ever have to go through. She really didn't want to do it. She was very stubborn. But it shows how sometimes you have to do things that you do not want to do to get to where you need to be. So when she goes back to her mom's house, she's stuck into a funk. Like, she hasn't found a job. Her mom is like trying to give her different alternatives, like maybe you should try teaching. She don't want to take any no's, okay? She wants to get to a law firm really quickly, because that's what she believes she was supposed to be. On the flip side, she also is comparing her life to her cousin, who's supposed to be like a frenemy or whatever. They grew up really cool, and then after a while it looks like her cousin has this amazing life. She becomes to like really doubt herself, because her cousin graduated, got a job after 2 months of graduating, has a husband. It looks like she has a picture perfect life. She's living in a nice condo, and she's over here on the sidelines, jealous, basically. But her cousin don't make it easy either. Her cousin is a bitch. With Jayla in the book, she realizes that she actually just has to change her outlook, her attitude on everything. So when she finally stepped out of her comfort zone, then she was able to gain clarity and happiness. So at the end of all of this, of all their journeys, Natasha began to invest in herself. Danielle never gave up. And Jayla found a whole new passion. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed this book. I couldn't put the book down. Like, the imagery of how she wrote it was so good, to the point of where I could see it in my mind as like a movie or a TV show. Side note, Miss Eugenia, you should get into writing for scripts or whatever, if you never thought about it, because I would love to see this as a spinoff, as a show or a movie. It highlights exactly what we need to see. It was so realistic, and it showed the process of how all of this is bumpy for everyone. Just because some people get there faster or quicker than you doesn't mean that they didn't have a long time of obstacles that they need to go through, and a lot of rejection as well. But please, if you would like to buy this book, the link is down below. Please, while you're down there, like and subscribe and share this video with everybody you know, calling out all frustrated millennials that are trying to pursue their dreams and get there, regardless of if you have to move back to your mama house, regardless if you have to switch up what you thought you wanted to do to try something different, or create your own, or start your own. But that's all for today, and thank you so much for watching. It's been real.